So okay, let's talk a little about insecurities with the actors, which is I think has been a very frivolous though, but prolific and very active debating content on social media of late. And a lot of actors have time and again gone on record to say that there is sometimes a lot of actors feel a certain sense of insecurity because of the different I don't know, the level of experience and expectations that has been burdened upon them by their stature, right? So, speaking about insecurities, how you've worked in South cinema as well,
Yeah.
in Telugu movies, and you've been a part of Hindi movies, Hindi film fraternity as well. So, when a Bollywood actor is working, say, in a South film, are what kind of insecurities do you encounter or confront at that time, or vice versa when say a South producer director is working on, or an actor for that matter is working on a Bollywood project? Is there a certain sense of insecurity or or say a certain sense of belongingness that hey, I belong from this school of cinema, and I would it's naturally a little more difficult to open up to a newer genre and school of cinema altogether. So, what is the difference in comparison?
I don't, to be honest, I don't really find a difference. If you're saying insecurity, I don't think there's an insecurity at all. I think there is an initial curiosity, because of the language, I guess. But I can tell you one thing, like people down south, if you can hold a move and if you can perform, they welcome you with open arms. It's that speaks for them. It speaks louder than just the language. The language is just one part of it. But the difference I think I see is I do find a lot of professionalism in the south. The way they work, they've got like their set timings, their set schedules. It's very systematic, that works. Like I am somebody that I make sure that I'm always on time, if not before.
Okay, and they reciprocate the set people.
Absolutely. When they say 8 o'clock, camera rolling, it doesn't mean 8:15. It doesn't mean 8:20. It means 8 o'clock.
All right.
The camera runs.
That's not the Bollywood culture per se.
No, Bollywood culture, no, it's not like that. You say 8 o'clock, then, I show up at 8 o'clock, but then everybody else is showing up at 9.
All right.
And Punjab is even better.
Is it?
Yeah, Punjab is even better. Punjab, you say 9, they'll come at 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
All right.
And they'll walk in and say, "Arey, tusi kyun jaldi aa gaye?" It's like that.
Cool.
So yeah, but South I love. South is fab.
Awesome. So I think that goes on to show also on screen the work that you've put in the Ashiki 2 version of the Telugu version of Ashiki 2 that you've worked in. I think that you've done a phenomenal job.
Thank you.
Yeah, very impressive, and I think I could watch that rewatch that movie again in the Telugu version, and I would still feel that it's so fresh and doesn't feel like it's a Dapper Dan or it's been cut out of like of imitation.
Yeah.
It feels so natural, fresh, and new.
Yeah.
So kudos. So that shows on screen. The creative process and the professional code that the South movies and filmmakers work with. Off late, if you've noticed, there have been a lot of newcomers that have entered Bollywood, the film industry. Lots of new projects and new faces out there, very talented as well, a bunch of them. As per you, which is the next, regardless of whether it's a newcomer or an experienced person that you'd want to work with next, a male co-star?
I've been manifesting Vicky Kaushal, to be very honest. I mean,
Yeah, he's good, sexy too.
yeah, it's really not about being sexy. I think I really like his personality. He's got this grounded depth to him,
Right.
which I think would complement my very loud and wild personality. I think it's a good combination. So I think it'll work. I think we'll be great together.
I think
Vicky.
I even that pair and that chemistry I would want to see for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, the work ethic, like you said, for the both of you all is something that would fruition into a beautiful chemistry on screen, I think, and would be it'd be a great watch. So,
Yeah, for
awesome.
sure.
Okay, so for the next one, a film genre. You've done a diverse range of different genres in the film and cinema space. A genre that you'd want to explore next that hasn't been explored by you as yet.
Really want to do a crime thriller. You know, like Delhi crime, something like that.
Like
On
OTT?
Netflix. Yeah, OTT for sure.
Yeah.
Like crime thriller. Based on a true story.
Yeah, awesome. Cool. All right, we've spoken about co-star, actor. We've spoken about a genre. If you could name just at the top of your head or someone, a director's work that you really laud and admire, that you might want to manifest and have a project with, or to be able to work with.
Sanjay Leela Bhansali, the one and only. Like, I mean, he doesn't make movies. He makes art.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, the biggest I think for me, if I needed validation, which sometimes I don't, but if I need, it would be Sanjay Leela Bhansali for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So what about him? Like, I mean, is the creative process or
all of it. The costume design, the visuals, the music, the background score, everything. He's like a complete package. He's like the Mughal Azam of our time. You know?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. So yeah, Sanjay Leela Bhansali through it. For all of it, for each and every detail. Even the lighting in his frames are like
Mr. Bhansali, if you're watching this,
big
then-
fan.
Yeah. What would be your fashion statement in like a few words or a sentence?
I would say chic, comfortable. Like, it'd probably be something that is easy breezy to be in, something that I can lie down and go to pass out in. And in case I need to do something fancy, I could just like put in some dark lipstick, put a pair of heels, and I'm ready to go.
All right, awesome. So like you're comfortable in the dark
Comfortable
space,
but chic.
but chic. Yeah. Name a Spotify artist at the top of your playlist.
Artists that I was playing. Currently, my god, it's like every day there's someone new, but recently I'm listening to a lot of Flipperacci.
Oh, nice.
You know? Fasla?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
So-
It's been making the rounds.
Yeah, it's on repeat.
social media and
Yeah.
everywhere.
Flipperacci.
Cool. And what kind of say genres would you when you have when you are in a certain mood, say melancholic or maybe when you're overjoyed, do you have like different types of music or different artists that you listen to that you might want to name?
Yeah, different artists, depends on the mood, depends on what I'm feeling. I don't have like one set artist that I listen to. It's a few songs that I have, and it could go from country to R&B to hip hop to rap. I'm like all over.
Johnny
Yeah.
Cash, no? I think
Johnny
you
Cash
told
as
me
well, yeah.
Cash.
Johnny Cash as well, yeah. I haven't been listening to a lot of Johnny Cash recently,
Uh-huh.
but yes, like I mean, I can be in a mood and I'll put Johnny Cash on and have a good go with that.
Johnny Cash goes with every.
It goes, yeah, that's true.
All right. How would you describe yourself as an actor in a few words?
Versatile.
All right. That should be easy.
Yeah, I think versatile.
I think confident and versatile as well.
Yeah, I think, confidence obviously has like a very big role to play in it. But I think you need to be able to mold into anything.
Right. Like
And yeah, you get into character and also I think to be versatile is the biggest. And I think I am versatile. Like I can change my personality for my characters. Sometimes I have changed my personality for characters. It's been tough to get out of those personalities, but yeah.
That goes on to show. No? You've done a diverse range of, even in terms of language. It's
Yeah.
a major
Yeah.
barrier and a lot of work that I'm sure you must have put in to be able to do Hindi and then Telugu and also Punjabi.
Yeah.
So that's crazy. That's a montage
Yeah.
of genres and languages. And to be able to nail it with the right dialect and accent, you've just you've just done such a neat job at it, if I may say. So great. So definitely versatile and very confident. Yeah. You come across sometimes a little intimidating, but also very confident.
You keep saying that.
Yeah,
Okay.
it is what it is, no?
Okay, I'll take it.
All right, cool. Okay, Nazia. So you've it's been, I think you've been in the industry for almost a decade or more, probably. What has been that one constant philosophy? I'm sure there have been a lot of ups. Maybe sometimes there are like but what has been that one mantra or philosophy that you've been living by, or that you abide by, that has helped you really come through, regardless of how turbulent times have been, or even at times of when you're over the moon or very elated. What is that one philosophy that you've believed in that has helped you keep that grounded temperament that you have to move to the next chapter in life?
This too shall pass.
Oh,
It's,
of course.
yeah, I mean, it's the best. It's the highs and lows, just like you said. Everything is, I mean, I'm going to give you another mantra as well.
Sure.
Change is the only constant. So it's a constantly changing world, it's a constantly changing time, and everything, success, failure. Today you're successful, tomorrow you can fail, today you fail, tomorrow you can succeed. Every day is different. Every day something's gonna be different. So all I keep saying to myself is this too shall pass.
Sure,
It's like
yeah.
the best.
Yeah, I mean, like it's a word for sure. I
Yeah.
couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
So I feel that even failures, people have sometimes this fear of being rejected or
Yeah.
failures. But
Rejection is a part of life. I mean, there's no person I feel on the face of this earth that hasn't come across rejection.
I mean, you have to be so amicable. On a personal level, I'm so amicable towards my failures, because if I don't credit them enough, then I mean, the next chapter or the next step in life, or you wouldn't be able to savor it as much or relish it as much.
Absolutely.
If you won't be able to value it as much if it wouldn't have been for
Yeah.
failures, of course, then everyone goes through it. So definitely
Absolutely.
couldn't have been better philosophy. That this too shall pass.
This too shall pass.
You've got to be a little patient. Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right. What is the biggest misconception, according to you, that people have about actors or people hailing from Bollywood backgrounds?
Well, that it's a walk in the park, and it's like, it's an easy, chance into Bollywood. Actually, everybody just looks at the glamour part of it, right? You see that we're doing the movies, but nobody sees behind the camera. There's rejection there. There is, there's failure there as well. But all that the audiences actually sees the final product. So it's definitely not a walk in the park, and it's not a piece of cake at all, even if you come from a filmy background.
So there are no privileges attached to, like, you're saying that the privileges.
None whatsoever. There isn't. There is, on the contrary, there is like pressure. There's this constant need to prove yourself within yourself. There is that.
So it becomes like almost like an onus that you're coming from.
Yeah, it does. It does. And even if people don't say that verbally, in and around set, they're thinking it.
You want to tell me one such instance, like, say for instance, where you were perhaps you had to live up to certain expectations more than the other actors because you hail from the Sunil Dutt, Sanjay Dutt fan background. So on set, did you have any such pressure binding upon you, either from the people on set, the crew members, or audience? Then after, anyone?
See, like I said, there is an unsaid pressure, anyways.
Right.
But more than the pressure that the world has on you, it's the one that you put through yourself. Like, from within, it's like basically you're given like a legacy Ferrari, but you're being told that you have to win the Grand Prix in the first, in the first go.
I feel.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's actually not like that, and apart, like I also said, apart from the pressure from other people, it's the pressure that one has on themselves, the constant need of proving yourself. Like, till now, I feel like I need to prove myself that I belong here.
Oh damn.
Yeah.
But look how far you've come. You've done some fabulous jobs, by the way.
Thank
I mean,
you.
it's also, of course, it's in your blood, but not to take away the fact that you've put in that most hard work, which shows on screen, of course. So awesome. You know, I mean, I really loved your work in some of your movies, the Ashiki 2, the Telugu version of it.
Yeah, Nee Jataga. Can you say that? Nee Jataga Nenundali.
Nee Jataga
Nee Jataga
Nenungadi.
Nenundali.
Nenundali.
Nee Jataga Nenundali.
People, go and stream Nee Jataga Nenundali.
Well
today.
done.
Right. So, your recent movie that released, I think, last May during the summer, I think, हाल ही में आपकी एक movie आई है, going by the name of Tipsy, which I think was directed by Mr. Deepak Tijori.
Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
I think that was a very cool, you know, I mean, drama thriller that was shot, and just wanted to understand. I mean, I think this is one of those projects where you're sharing your lead role as an actor with a couple of other female co-stars as well, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, what is your take on sharing the limelight on the silver screen with multiple co-stars? Like, what are the emotions, and how is it any different from working on an individual project where you are like, you know, single-handedly taking the lead role to you know, on screen?
Yeah. So I'll tell you what. Okay, sharing the lead is not a problem at all. To be honest, we were what, 5 girls in it, and I think it depends on who you are as a person rather than who you are as an actor.
Okay.
You know, as long as there is camaraderie, it works, and if there isn't, it's a disaster. So Tipsy, I will tell you in all honesty, was like a 50-50 shot. There was, I mean, me and some of the girls really got along, and I would get onto a road trip with them any day.
Right.
You know, but then there was some that didn't get along, and it was a disaster. It was like every day we're like showing up on set and saying, now what's gonna happen today? But it got nothing to do with sharing the lead, you know, because honestly speaking, even in other films that I've done, once the camera starts rolling, the whole notion of I'm the lead in this film and this is a character actor, none of that exists. You're just performing, you're doing a scene, you're playing a character. That thought doesn't really feature in your, you know, thought process.
Right. I think the director also plays a vital role here.
The director
in
does
terms of-
play a very vital role, and the thing about our director was that he was like, he's someone who's not very confrontational,
All right.
you know, so he kind of let us like beef it out amongst each other, which was not a good decision.
Okay.
I'm saying.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
his creative process, if I may say. You know, I mean,
Well, I mean, whatever it was, I just felt that, you know, I mean, I felt that, I mean, it would have been nicer if he was, you know, could have handled it a little differently.
all right.
But yeah, I mean,
So,
it's
so professional animosity, but does it help your creative process on screen? Like, you know.
absolutely, of course, because, you know, I mean, if you're trying to be versatile, if you're trying to deliver something as honestly as you can, you do need to be in a certain frame of mind, you know. I mean, I won't say that I'm such a seasoned actor that I can completely block out, you know. I do prep, I do get into it, I feel my character, I get into a mindset, and when there is friction amongst actors, you know, and there is not like, I mean, there's no communication between actors,
All right.
the film and the project suffers.
Right.
It suffers a lot. At least I think so.
So, do you think, like, you know, I mean, say for instance, I think a few of your co-stars were newcomers, right? So, has there been a time where, you know, they've like felt nervous or a little insecure about, you know?
I think insecurity ran really high on Tipsy.
So did you guys like
Yeah.
confront each other and help out?
Yeah,
each
yeah.
other, like-
There was a lot of there was helping out also. There was confrontation also. There was outright watch yourself also. It was catty. I mean, I wouldn't say that it was a walk in the park. It was very catty. Listen, I've worked with female actresses, and my co-stars from Tipsy are good friends. Even now, we're in touch, and you know, we talk to each other, and it's not like But you know, I mean, it was something new. Tipsy was a brand new experience for me.
All right, Naz, it has been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for taking out the time and joining us for this interview. Before we go, for our listeners, if I may ask you to play your favorite track that you've been vibing to off late, if you could just play it for our listeners rather.
I thought you'd never ask.
Let's jam. Yeah. Let's jam. All right.
ولا خوش فصلة تبي توس ولا خوش رقصة توس ولا خوش فصلة تبي توس ولا خوش رقصة يا الحبيب ده نصيب